before the break, I told you about Norman Eisen, one of the key architects of color revolution strategy. He even wrote Color Revolution Playbook that actually called the Democracy Playbook. It's right there. It's the playbook. Anyway, I mentioned before how Trump was even sworn in. Before he was even sworn in as president, Eisen collaborated with David Brock, head of Media Matters, on written strategy on how to remove Donald Trump. Right at the top of page 50 of their action plan, they write, the progressive infrastructure groups we've built together were started long before Hillary Clinton ran for president. They were always intended to be the first line of defense and offense when we are under siege, end quote. Wow. You catch that? They're already establishing that Donald Trump's legitimate election put the nation under siege. It's also disturbing that their first line of defense and offense is not voters, not you, not better ideas, not a better agenda. It's their infrastructure groups that they have built. The little army in the street. Again, quoting from the first page of their action plan, quote, we have the mandate. Together, we won the popular vote. It's not like they won it by 70 points. We have the popular votes. Democrats picked up seats in the Senate and the House. Trump is the least popular incoming president in modern history, and the outgoing president and popular vote winner are again the most admired man and woman in the nation. And the country did not vote for Trump-style change. Actually, they did. They did. And the most unpopular coming into office, I would say Abraham Lincoln, just guessing. Now, this clearly ties into the second pillar on Michael McFaul's list of the 7 factors need to be in place to pull off a successful revolution. Color revolution pillar number 2, an unpopular incumbent. That message began the day after Trump's election, on Inauguration Day. Remember how much the media crowed about supposedly the small crowd on the Washington Mall? Trump's alleged unpopularity has been the standard operating message for years now. According to the left and their media friends, Trump has never been popular. And of course, when you own the entertainment industry, it's easy to perpetuate that message that Trump is unpopular in all regards. And since 2008, the left has elevated Saturday Night Live's election influence to mythic proportions. So right out of the gate, SNL went outside to cast Alec Baldwin to play Trump as a nasty moron. Or what about Showtime's new James Comey glorification project? Watch this and tell me who the victim or the villain is. Watch.
Putin began cultivating Trump as an asset and helped him real estate deals, hundreds of millions in loans.
That constitutes a real threat to national security.
Would you like to come over for dinner tonight?
Just the 2 of us?
Nobody gets treated as unfairly as I do. It's disgraceful. Sir, I need loyalty. I expect loyalty.
Ripped right out of the headlines, except it's not Trump, it's Hunter Biden. Did you see that news today? The left and the media have also made a big deal this year out of a group called the Lincoln Project. Now, the narrative here is that President Trump is so unpopular and so dangerous that a group of Republicans organically, spontaneously just got together and organized a campaign for Joe Biden. But in reality, the Lincoln Project has raised over $20 million from leftist donors to campaign against not just Donald Trump, but the Republican senators who were also up for re-election. How does that happen? Well, according to its FEC filings, the Lincoln Project hired Katz Watson Group for funding consulting. Fran Katz Watson, who owns that consulting firm? I just longtime Democratic operative who used to be, the national finance director for the DNC. Her firm's other clients include a Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee and Democratic Congresswoman Campaign Committee. The Lincoln Project also has paid consulting fees to a firm run by Adrienne Elrod. She was the spokesperson and director of strategic communications for the Hillary Clinton campaign. So it is really grassroots GOP. And as if that's not proof enough that the Lincoln Project is just Democratic astroturf, well, its communications director is Keith Edwards, who was formerly on Mike Bloomberg's presidential campaign staff. The Lincoln Project is the very definition of Republican in name only. Now, Pillar 2, clearly in place. You know, if you hammer home the idea every day for 4 years that Trump is wildly unpopular, and he does stuff too that people don't like all the time, well, it helps you create the perception that he could not possibly win a legitimate election, which helps you develop the fourth pillar on the list, an ability to quickly drive home the point that voting results were falsified. Recently, Democrats spent a couple of weeks flooding the airwaves with conspiracy theories that President Trump is going to sabotage the U.S. Postal Service with cutbacks, closing facilities so they can't deliver all the mail-in ballots in time, and the kids, and no Santa, and we're all going to be crying, oh, I want my broken toy. Anytime Trump has been critical of mail-in voting, the left immediately frames it as voter suppression. It all seems to be part of the groundwork to deny any positive election result for the president. Now, just in the past week, we're also seeing blame placed on right-wing media, including me, because I am working to hypnotize you, to delegitimize a Biden victory. Look, if Biden wins and it's legit, he's our president, I mean, I might move to Canada. No, Barbara Streisand's there. Oh, no, she's not. It's all part of a narrative that Biden winning the election is a foregone conclusion, and that Trump disputing that result will be fake news. And of course, social media will jump in and do its part for the cause with their fact checkers, which is really good. Color Revolution, they need somebody, in social media fact checking these things. Facebook, for example, if I may, is very proud of their third-party fact-checking program. They use fact-checkers that are certified by IFCN, the International Fact-Checking Network. Beck in a minute. Now, it sounds really official, but what exactly is the IFCN? Well, it's a project that was started by something called the Poynter Institute. The Poynter Institute gave birth to IFCN. Poynter Institute started in 1975, the world's leading instructor, innovator, convener, and resource for anybody who aspires to engage and inform citizens. Not me. Now, one of the major funders of Poynter is Open Society. Oh my gosh, that's George Soros. He's back. So, George Soros, one of the major funders. Now, PolitiFact, or Poynter also owns PolitiFact. So they gave birth to this, but they also own PolitiFact, which is great. Now, PolitiFact's two largest financial supporters are the E.W. Scripps Company and Facebook. Isn't that great? So, Poynter says these guys are good, but they started them and run them, and then these guys say these guys are legitimate, and these guys report to these guys, but these guys are giving them money and giving them money as well as George Soros is. It's great. Don't you feel good about IFCN certified fact checkers now? It means, in essence, that the IFCN certifies itself as a legitimate fact checker. Don't know how that works in the real world, but it doesn't matter in utopia with the left-wing operation. It means Facebook and everything we say is automatically trustworthy. Next time you see a fact check from PolitiFact, take it with just the tiniest bit of salt, will you? Because it's largely funded by Facebook. So, how does the election polling play into this narrative that Trump is unpopular and will somehow falsify the voting results? I want to explore that with a guy who knows it inside and out, Steve Deace. Next.